Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Ola coming to you live from My Power Pro Studios. My name is Ola. I am here to hang out with you, the Prestige family. Welcome back. Justice for OSINACHI. A few days ago, we covered this story. As you know, all we do is extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. One of which is the story of OSINACHI. Some few years ago, maybe about 2 years ago, she passed away as convicted now at the hands of her husband, Peter Nwachukwu. And we talked about that here some few videos ago. If you want to go watch that video, we talked about him potentially training his children to actually abuse this young lady for a long time, even obviously indirectly or directly abusing the young kids, and the kids also ended up having to testify against him in court. And some people were trying to drag the children and were dragging some other issues. For me personally, I just thought it was a very, very sad thing to watch. Like, nobody should be in a relationship at the expense of their life. Either you are the betrayer, or the violator, or the victim. It doesn't matter. It's not worth it. Marriage is not a do or die. If you need help, seek help. Talk to someone, okay? Talk to someone, because at the end of the day, you know what happens? People moving with their lives. So I was looking at this thing on The Nation. I was looking at the report on The Nation. It says OSINACHI, does killing a killer kill justice? It says the recent judicial pronouncement sentencing Peter Nwachukwu, husband of the late gospel singer OSINACHI, to death by hanging has reignited the perennial debate surrounding capital punishment in Nigeria. We talked about that. For me, it didn't matter in that video. So this video, I'll talk about it. Like, should he get, life in imprisonment, or should he get like it's bye like they're going to kill him, so there's always been that debate. Even here in the United States, multiple different states, they believe in different things, they have different laws, and a lot of states are they are completely going the direction of life in imprisonment and not killing anybody, right? So he says citizens and scholars and legal minds have waded into the fray with varying degrees of moral and legal favor. It's the moral part that I can't stand. I hate the moral. Personally, I'm just saying, me personally, I can't stand hearing the moral part of the argument. But I get it. So let's talk about it. So in continuing the reading, it says, yet the discourse continues to swing like a pendulum between vengeance and virtue, without adequate analytical depth or jurisprudential clarity. While abolitionists have spared little effort in introspective concession, the retentionists have shown equal reluctance to critically engage the merits of their. This pendulum, in my view, swings with too great a momentum to permit repose at the median of reason. At one extreme lies the call for vengeance, where retributive justice is exalted. At the other, a demand. So there's a difference between vengeance and justice. That's good. That's a good argument that I can see it already, right? Yeah. Shout out to D and Marriott, and we have about 3 lawyers here. Misty, shout out. I have 3 lawyers that I know here, so shout out to them. Maybe you guys can chime in the comment. So I really find that interesting. I feel like I'll be very, very good if I went to law school, but I love this. So but you guys chime in, let me know what you guys think about this. There's a difference between vengeance and justice, and I can see the difference already. Yet I contend that the claim made by abolitionists that the eradication of the death penalty is the litmus test for a society's passage from primal instinct to civilization is a progressive fallacy, a label assert without equivocation. Empirically, more lives are lost to homicide than to war. According to the United Nations, approximately 464,000 people were murdered globally in 2017, far exceeding 89,000 deaths attributed to armed conflict within the same period. The execution of a convicted murderer sends a resounding message that the sanctity of the innocent life taken makes the ultimate sanction both warranted and symbolic. All right, so they're trying to say, instead of let's just cancel this whole idea, okay? This is my understanding now. Let's cancel the whole idea of eliminating a person's life or their right to life, and we can still serve justice. That's what I think I'm understanding. It says the execution of a convicted murderer sends a resounding message that the sanctity of the innocent life taken makes the ultimate sanction both warranted and symbolic. So this person is saying, no, take it, so it's warranted and symbolic. Then no indulgence must be granted to euphemisms that diminish the English. Punishment in this context is not a barbaric relic because they actually took somebody's life. They died by the sword too, right? But a societal response to the catalytic instinct to offend. It serves to slow the instinctual metabolism that spurs. It operates. Okay, all right. So here's what I can see. I'm not going to go all the way through this. You can find this on The Nation. Here's what I can think. I can agree. I can easily right now agree that you can serve justice without taking their life. And taking their life does not, even though justifiable part the law, right, and the conviction is not required to serve that justice. And also, what about cases in which case new information can come up, new evidence can come up, unearthed over the life of that person while they're still locked up in prison for life, and then if they are gone, then there's no way to retract or reverse that, because the reality is that the laws anywhere in this world, they are not perfect. That's the reality. The laws are not perfect anywhere you go in the world. There are so many times that people have been convicted for things, so many times, like literally hundreds, thousands. People are convicted for things that they did not do. Someone said for a conviction in a murder trial that carries a death sentence, the prosecution must establish the following elements: that the deceased is dead and that the death resulted from the act and omission of the accused. Have you not heard of people where they say somebody's been dead and they found that they were never dead? That one, go. All right, so we know that's not this case. We're just using that to this is a few days later now, right? The standard of proof remains beyond reasonable doubt as required by section 135. Historically, the African worldview, including Nigerian customary traditions, has recognized the death penalty for death, notwithstanding the formal abolition of customary criminal offenses by section 36 of the 1999 Constitution. The lex talionis principle, an eye for an eye, finds its root not just in tradition but in sacred texts such as Exodus 21. Immanuel Kant himself affirmed the necessity for capital punishment so capital punishment versus life in imprisonment is the case, right? So I could see the moral angle to it. I just can't stand it. I think I can't stand engaging the argument too much. So I'm going to let you guys take it up from here, because again, they will continue to argue, but in developed countries, in progressive world, they'll continue to abolish it, and there's a reason, and I tend to gravitate more in that direction because it tends to be open-minded in nature. Okay, let me see here. I'm still looking at something. It said further, the court have consistently upheld the constitutional of the Adeniji versus the state. The Court of Appeal declared that the death penalty is expressed provided. Okay, I'm looking for the case for capital punishment. By definition, is the legally sanctioned execution of a person as punishment for a crime deemed capital in nature. Offenses, because that could be treason, it could be many other things too, right? Offenses attracting capital include those stipulated under sections 37, 319 of the Criminal Code. They're talking about Nigeria, by the way. These offenses include murder, armed robbery, and treason. There you have it. Okay. So now, maybe some of you that are lawyers that are going to be finding out now, hopefully, maybe you guys can help me. What are the cases? This is my question for you now. What are the cases for life imprisonment? I want to learn. What are the cases for them as opposed capital punishment in terms of eye for an eye, right? What are the cases for them? If I have time, if I have opportunity in the future, if you guys educate me, I'll bring it up again. Do me a favor, hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll be right back. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.